about it?
Yeah, you know, it came from an idea where a lot of people, I've only been doing like TV for like, let's say like five years, not a long time, Brian. So a lot of people was asking me about my journey, and they had their version of it. I was like, oh, you know, you worked in retail, Drake came along and that's it. You're on the Masked Singer. And that's not really how it happened. So I had to really tell people what my origin story was. But then I started questioning where I am now in life. And then once I'd done a show, I do like these work in progresses, right? And someone said, oh, you know, I'd say like, oh, ask me a question. People say, oh, how did the geezer come along? You know, what's it like working with Big Nasty? And then someone said, what do you want your legacy to be? And it threw me off. So I kept thinking of that and what I want to do and how I want to apply myself. So I put all these things together in a nice little podcast and just get, you know, guests on, and we go from the beginning, middle and end. Yeah.
I like it. Well, we saw a clip already. We saw that you've handpicked certain people.
Yes.
Jonathan Ross, we know you sit alongside him.
Why are you going to say certain people like where was the call? Even Brian's looking at me like, right, you can't give me a
None of us here. Now you're feeling the heat, man. That's what we're talking about.
Exactly.
But in
We're all
terms,
available, aren't we?
putting our hands up, Brian. In terms of having Jonathan on,
Yes.
did you learn anything new about him?
Yeah, you know, Jonathan's a really interesting character. I'm lucky enough to do Masked Singer with him. And when I got to go on his show, that was one of my, like, I feel like I've made it moments. And it's always interesting when you feel like you know someone, but they tell you something about them that you're like, oh, I never thought that you would do that. You know, in his spare time, he's very into, like, his model collection, and he's got a huge comic book collection and stuff. And in his spare time, he just says, yeah, I like building my models. That's what I like doing as a hobby. And, yeah, just an array of people he's met and knows, and the stories he has. It's yeah, it's like whenever I'm around him, it's just like my granddad who's got these cool stories. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of what I took away from him. Yeah, like
watching.
Yeah, I kind of learned that like the older you get is just to have like, you know, like I understand why I see older men and they put their hands behind their back and they just look. Have you ever seen this? Have you ever seen this?
No.
When they just walk around.
I know what you mean.
And they walk around slow. And I never used to understand it. And I realised the older you get, you just want to really appreciate time. So I feel like that's what I kind of got from Jonathan a little bit, yeah.
Now, with your career so far, you've met some incredible people. That
Yes.
contact list is bulging. At this point, who would be your ultimate celebrity interview?
Ultimate celebrity guests. Okay, you know, obviously you guys are not busy because you're very, 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 very busy. Ian Wright's one of them.
Right.
We love
Yeah,
our
everyone loves
a childhood
Wrighty.
hero. I'm a huge Arsenal fan. That'll be wicked for me. Another one is Dame Judi Dench. Right, I was in Edinburgh and Jay Blades got out of a cab and he was with Dame Judi Dench, and I was like, oh my god, that is. Before it's Dame Judi Dench, that's M from 007. You know when you know someone as a character, like it's a bit like if I seen Phil Mitchell, I'm like, that's Phil Mitchell first. I'm so sorry, but I was like, oh my god. And then, you know, Jay, I know Jay a little bit. He was like, oh, how's it going, Mo? Listen, man, this is Dame. How's it going? And I met her. She was so nice. She was so lovely.
This is Dame. Sorry,
Yeah.
can you rewind back to that?
Yeah, it was Dame Judi Dench. She was so nice. She goes, hello, nice to meet you. How are you? Her hands, so soft. Oh my god. She's using all of the cocoa butter. She got the softest hands. One of the most loveliest people I think I've ever met. So she was someone I was very, very starstruck, man.
Wait, Mo,
So,
talking
yeah.
about being starstruck and everything, I know you've just come back from the US, you finished your world tour
yes.
over there.
Yeah.
You found a nice place to play some football?
Oh yeah, so whenever I'm away, my hobby is just playing a bit of football. And I was out there and a friend was like, listen, we're going to go play football on Monday at Rod's house. Are you coming? So I'm like, Rod, that's an interesting name. I was like, oh, okay. And you say, Rod who? My friend was like, Rod Stewart. I said, what? A whole Rod Stewart? So we played football at his house. I don't know if he knows that I've ever been there playing football, but I was playing my best. Oh man, I was playing my best. There's
Wow.
one kid, right, he kept doing skills. I said, pass the ball, man. My friend said, you know whose son it is? I said, who? He said, that's Madonna's son. I said, oh my God. I said, bro, express yourself. Do what you need to.
Mo, I'm sure we're going to hear more about all these stories on your podcast. Mo's podcast, beginning, middle and end, it's available now on Global Player or wherever you get your podcasts.
Right, that is about all we got.